Hot Button Plan and Discussion by Ricardo Ramirez. Classroom Code of Ethics. I will create an inclusive classroom where children will feel safe and comfortable to express themselves without fear of judgment or resentment. I will be an advocate for my students if I feel they're experiencing adverse actions outside of the classroom that are impacting their abilities to learn. All children will be able to participate in our activities regardless of their learning ability or disabilities. I will work with families to ensure their cultural and family contributions to our classroom and society are honored and celebrated. I will work closely with my team to ensure we're communicating and align with our efforts in providing a safe and nurturing environment for our students. I will continue to grow my skill set as an educator through ongoing training and education to ensure I'm providing the most current instruction available to my students. Hot button plan of action. Before the behaviors, arrive to school with a positive attitude, recognize different behaviors in each child, um, be consistent with the rules and routines in the classroom, and teach them different strategies for dealing with stressful situations. During the behavior, we'll take a deep breath, assess the situation before reacting, listen intently to what the children are saying, be empathetic to the situation at hand, and repeat what the child is expressing to show that I am listening to their needs. After the behavior, I will reflect with other instructors about the situation. I will document any interactions that might need follow up. I'll speak with the parents about any issues that may have occurred with their child, and I will think about other ways to approach the behavior that could be more productive. Um, Now, these are some of my hot buttons: not following instructions, whining, and not using their words when they need something. So when my students do not follow instructions, I feel frustration, and that's pretty much across the board with all of them. I repeat my instructions in a clear and calm voice. I set the timer, then I repeat the instructions when the timer is done, and I thank them and praise them for following instructions when they are not listening to me. When they're whining, I remind myself that they're still trying to find the words to express themselves. I ask them why they are frustrated, and I offer solutions to their problems. Their emotions are brand new sometimes, and they have a hard time dealing with them. So I keep that in mind when I deal with that. And not using the words, I calmly explain that I cannot help them if they do not use their words. I ask questions that I think they want to ask me. I ask them to repeat my words if I am correct, and I wait until they use the words before I help them. And this is really with just mainly the typical students. With exceptional learners, I get out as much as I can from them because a lot of them have a hard time communicating verbally with me. How does this impact my relationship with my students? When they are not following instructions, I think my students have come to realize that I am persistent and I will keep on them until they listen to me. They understand that I oversee the classroom. They learn that I appreciate their efforts and give them praise and high fives when they are being good listeners. And then they are more willing to follow my instructions with very little protest. When they whine, they learn that this behavior does not sway Mr. Ricky. They appreciate that I listen to their issues and don't just tell them to stop whining. They seek me out to help them find solutions to their problems, and they trust me to be there to listen to them when they are frustrated. When they are not using their words, they learn that I will react to their request if they use their words. They attempt at finding solutions sometimes to their own problems. And I offer praise and high fives if they use their own words or they find solutions to their problems. How does it impact my relationship with my students' families? Um, when they're not following instructions, the parents appreciate that I'm instilling a sense of responsibility in my students. They appreciate that I am teaching them how to take ownership of the actions, and they understand that I am teaching them discipline. When the children are whining, the parents know that I uh, do not respond to that behavior in a negative way. They understand that I am showing the children proper behavior in the classroom, and they know that this will help their children become more independent. When they are not using the words, the parents understand that I am teaching their children how to be better express themselves. I am teaching them how to be better communicators. And they appreciate that I'm showing them how to have proper communications with other people. Reflections on this course. Um, Making mistakes is part of the growing process when it comes to children, so you have to have patience. There are many ways to shape proper behaviors. Um, I am the guide in teaching them what is and isn't acceptable outside their family group. And I am an advocate for them while they are in my students, and this includes outside of the classroom. Building trust in families and students is key in creating an environment where children can flourish. Empathy creates trust in children and understanding their behaviors. And I model the behaviors that I want to see in my students. And that happens with the interactions that I have with the other teachers in the classroom. And I've also learned to never stop learning to become a better teacher. There are always new ways of doing things or instructing or um, dealing with behaviors, and I've got to be open to any and everything that is put in front of me to try to incorporate it to become a better instructor. Letter to myself, and I think the quote from Gandhi is appropriate. If we could change ourselves, the tendencies in the world will also change. Um, I would say to myself, I would want to be the teacher that I always wanted and needed in my childhood. Having been a child who experienced trauma in many forms, I always think about that when I deal with the kids and how some teachers in my life were very impactful and some were impactful in a negative way. So I always try to be the teacher that I wanted in my childhood that helped me out. I know that every child is special and unique in their behaviors and how they view the world. And so I must act accordingly to each individual child in the best way possible that would suit them. Um, Children are not always aware of their feelings or how to act upon them. And so then it is up to me to be their guide and to show them how to acknowledge what they're feeling and then how to react to those feelings um, in an appropriate way in the setting of the classroom. I model empathy in every interaction I have with each child. This will help me understand better what it is that they're going through and what it is that they're trying to communicate with me. And redirect and instruct instead of using punishment and exclusion. That is a huge thing for me. Having come, like as I said, from an abusive childhood, it has been a big change for me to um, move away from that behavior. And I do this with my children as well. I'll often think, how would my parents react to this action? And I do the opposite. And so far, it's worked out pretty good for me and the students. And a lot of it is redirect and instruct instead of using punishment and exclusion. And offer more support and praise to children who are deemed troublemakers. I discovered that, especially this year, with one particular child who was very disruptive in the classroom and would often just go and pick on other kids. And I found that when I would sit down with him and work with him one on one, what he was really seeking was attention. And although he was seeking it in a negative way, when I would sit down and talk with him, he made the classroom a lot better because then he was getting the attention that he needed. So I offer more support and praise to the children who are deemed troublemakers. And there are my references, and that is it. I hope you enjoyed my presentation.